Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. And we will be elevated today. I have a great guest to share with you today. Today, we are talking with Arlene Arnold. She is the founder of Transformational Tools, LLC, and a certified spiritual guide and healing facilitator. Arlene continues her 25-year mission to develop easy and effective tools that invite you to learn how to release obstacles that keep you stuck in old patterns and to navigate specific challenges that come from being highly sensitive and intuitive. Her courses and tools allow you to move forward as the brilliant light of the inner truth. She is also the creator of the internationally acclaimed Oracle deck, ColorCards, Inner Guidance Made Simple Through the Vibration of Color. I love it. I love it. First off, welcome, Arlene. We have chatted
Thank you.
years ago, and I'm so happy to have you back.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would love to have you share a bit more of your background with everyone, maybe kind of what brought you into what you do and maybe some highlights of what has really inspired you.
Well, spirituality has always been really important to me. And I grew up in the Methodist Church. I married a man who was becoming a minister. And every place we would go, I would develop a small group, a spirituality group. And more, I became interested in expanding my understanding of that and began to read books and try out different kinds of things. Well, one day at our church, a woman came to talk to us about meditation. And the minute she started talking, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm finally hearing the things that I've been looking for. And I ended up studying with her for 2 years to be a spiritual guide and healing facilitator. And that just opened me up. And during that time, I was reading all kinds of things. And one book that I read, which is now out of print, talked about complementary colors. And that became a very important tool for everything that I have done. And I made up a set of cards at one of the retreats that we did. And I'd been studying what the colors meant and everything. And so at the break, I was doing readings with these cards. And everybody said, oh, you've got to publish those. You've got to publish those. So that was kind of the thing that got me going.
I love it. So with the color cards, is it you draw a particular color and that kind of gives you a guidance?
Yeah, I have two different decks that I like to have people use together. One of them was kind of an afterthought. It's called mini color cards. And I work with, are we in the strength of the color or are we in the learning from the color, the lesson? And so on those mini cards, one end is a strength and the other's a lesson. And they're in the middle, it tells you how you can work on the lesson. So then I have the book and the large cards. So the large cards don't say anything on them. And the large cards I like to use for your life purpose because the book, each chapter is set up. So it's about the strength of the color, the learnings that are in the color, and the life purpose that might be of the color. So then you can, with the mini color cards, you can just say, okay, what's my focus today? And then it's maybe a strength of the color, or it's maybe a lesson from the color. And you can get a beginning idea of that from the little mini card. And then when you have time, you can go into depth in the book.
Wow, fascinating.
And I use them all the time too. So, I mean, it's not like sometimes I go to some of these things that I've written and I go, who wrote that? So I can't always even remember what's in there because a lot of it was sort of downloaded through me.
Yes. So you can look at these cards every day and focus on that color and take what message and guidance you get from that. So is it you're looking for that color throughout the day?
It doesn't matter how you use it, but every one of the colors, you know that everything has consciousness. So these colors have consciousness. And the more that you work with these colors, the more you get connected to that consciousness. And they will speak to you from your inner guidance. And then as you go into the book, you might read one sentence and it just kind of jumps out, you know.
Yeah.
And so then that sentence is the thing that you want to focus on. And then I teach people, in fact, I have a course coming up this coming Monday. That course is, and I do it every quarter, that course is how to journal with your knowing self. So you can journal with anything. So you could have a message on the card and you could use that for inspiration and journal with that, asking your inner self, what does this mean for me? What am I to take from this specifically for my life?
Yes.
And you'll get an answer, and it'll be so true, because the way I teach people to do this is that they let go of any beliefs they have, anything that's going on, and they just go deep into that. Usually it's the heart space. Sometimes for people, it's more the gut, but wherever they go for their answers, and they end up then feeling like they really got a specific answer. And that's how I clarify things, because we all get caught up in stuff and all of a sudden we go, oh, what's really going on here?
Yes. For years now, I've had a list that I got from an awesome guest that I interviewed, and it's a particular color for each day of the week. So example on my list, and wait, today is white, Friday is white. So I'm wearing a white shirt. And I've been doing that for years now.
Oh, cool. That's great. Yeah, I haven't dipped into that, but what the color course that we do works with complementary colors, ones that are across from each other in the color wheel. Well, they tend to be the complementary colors. One color is from the first 3 chakras, and the other color is from the top 3 chakras. Now, usually we work with 7, but because I work with them in pairs, I work with 6 chakras. And the combination of those 2 colors, and I teach people how to swirl them through the places where the energy is stuck. And by doing that, you begin to move the energy that isn't what is right for you, and it makes room for what is really right for you to come in.
Wonderful. So that helps them and guides them into removing this stuck energy, the energy that isn't positive, shouldn't be there, and opening up to bring in the energy that's going to manifest and grow positively.
Yeah, and the thing that we have to remember is we've all been programmed. We've been programmed by our parents, by our church, by our relatives, by, everything around us, by our government.
Yes.
Everything has been a part of our programming. And until you begin to understand that some of that just doesn't fit for you, you're just kind of going around with things that aren't yours and isn't really where you come from. And there's a real need to find that true place inside of you. In fact, on our website, one of the things that I did was to put 3 things up that I think are key for everybody to find their own true magnificence inside. And one of them is that you discover your true self. And the second one is you experience long-lasting healing, because in my way of understanding, everything that you experience as sickness, and it can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be from thoughts, all of that can be unhealthy. But in order to get into long-lasting healing, you have to deal with the energy that's there. And then the other one is living from your authenticity, because authenticity gets covered up with all the stuff that we've been programmed with. And now I'm working more and more. I've always been, but now I understand that this is really my passion and my calling, is to work with people who are highly sensitive, intuitive, and usually very, very psychic. And this is a group of people. I mean, we're all that to some extent, but some people are born with that in place, and they always feel like they don't fit in, that they're just not going down the same route that everybody else is, and it affects your self-esteem.
Yes.
And then people will say, "Oh, you're just too sensitive." Well, I'm sensitive, you know. So there are tools that you can use for that, but you can't deny it. You can't say, "Oh, okay, I'm not going to be sensitive anymore," because that's like closing your heart. It's like closing who you really are, you know.
What you are.
So
Yes.
yeah, so this group of people are really underserved because so many people don't know how to connect to that, because they're living in this world they accepted a lot of things and they're just living in that world, and that's okay for them. But for somebody who shows up like this, usually we have this feeling inside, "Oh, I'm here for something important. I don't know what it is. I need to find out what that is, because I know I need to be doing something with that right now," you know. And so you live with a lot of stress because you're trying to figure out how to fit in. You're trying to figure out how to be who you really are. And other people are telling you, "Don't be that way," you know. And I see it in a lot of these young kids that are coming in now too, because going into traditional school a lot of times just doesn't work for them, you know. So I'm really working on how to reach the people who are struggling with this, and there are a lot of them. So and in the past I've more drawn people to me that are my age, and now I'm looking at how can I also serve a younger audience. So those are ones who they already know a lot of things, but they don't always know how to be fully in their bodies. I mean, I've run into a lot of people who are sort of their energy is halfway out of their body, so they're not grounded. And people who tend to be manic and then they go into a depressive state, I've really found that a lot of times the manic is because they're partway out of their body, so they don't have to deal with all of the day-to-day stuff. But then all of a sudden they fall back down into their body and they found out they didn't pay their bills. They found out they didn't return a phone call. They didn't get to work on time, you know, and then they have to deal with that and they go into a deep depression because this, who they are up here is more who they really are, but they're informed. They have to figure out how to live this life, not just be out of body all the time.
And it's so true what you said, how really we are programmed our whole life, our environment, our settings. And it is possible for us, you know, we can tap into our intuition and maybe messages we get. And oh my gosh, there's nothing like when you discover a passion that you didn't realize you have. It's like being set free, isn't it?
It is. And I see that in you. You know, you've been doing these podcasts for so long now, and I know it's your passion. And you know, I started doing what I'm doing in 1995, and I haven't quit since then, you know.
Yeah.
And of course there are times you go, "Oh, am I really on the right path? You know, do I really have the energy for this?" You know? And then it's like, and my daughter says, I'm living in an apartment in her home, and she says to me, "Why don't you just retire and enjoy yourself?" And I said, I would be so bored.
Yeah.
I would be so not in my passion. I'd sort of die inside. That is never going to happen until I'm gone.
And I see it as, you know, I've been interviewing now almost 7 years. And when I was first asked to do a show, I was like, me? Really?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love it. And I don't see it as work. I see it as fun and excitement and, you know, learning and being inspired. So really, it's not like we ever have to retire. We can just keep having fun.
When I teach a class, I come out of that so You said it inspired, but also just my energy is so bright after that because I always knew I was going to be a teacher. I tried teaching school and I enjoyed it, but it was exhausting to me. And I didn't realize that what I was doing was taking on the energies of all the people around. And I was carrying that around until I went home and just crashed, And I was an English teacher. And so then I had to go home and correct papers and plan. I just couldn't do it. And then I did other things for many years. And when I finally came to this, I went, okay, this is the way that I teach.
Yes, yes. Well, tell us, so for someone out there listening saying, oh my gosh, I think I might want to take that course. Give us a little more detail about that and how they could sign up for it and what they might expect to experience.
So you can go to our website, transformationaltools.com. And right there on the front page, it gives you the opportunity to go to courses. And you're going to find in the courses, I have 2 free courses that are kind of an introduction. One is an introduction to what we do with color. I have a coloring book and I have a page in this free one where you get a chance to use the colors in the way we do in the coloring book. And you understand more about what complementary colors are. So that's kind of an introduction to what we do with color. And then I have another one that is, what does it mean to be highly sensitive and intuitive? And that's kind of an introduction to our basic course that works with people that are, I would call it Thrive as a highly sensitive and intuitive person. And then, so those are 2 of our basic courses. And then we have one, I'm going to create a little mini course for this one too. But this one is about how to balance your active masculine energy and your receptive feminine energy, because I have found this is a huge problem for all of us. And until we find that way of bringing those energies, that's the yin and the yang in us, until we bring that together, we really have a hard time living our life in a way that isn't feeling like we're carrying something heavy around with us. And so those are the 3 basic courses. And then we have advanced courses that there are 3 advanced, is it 3? No, it's 4 now, advanced color courses. And then I have a course that works with the luminaries that is one of the oracle decks that I created that one with my friend Lorinda Arlene. And the art that she did has so much to it, and then the words have so much to it. I actually created a course from it, and there are 24 cards, so it's a 24-week course. And we take it in quarters so people don't have to do it all at once. But
yes.
And then we just created one that I haven't actually written down yet, but it's taking crystals, pictures of crystals. And we're working, and then we began to work with the crystals and the luminary cards together. And the energy of that is just like off the charts. But what I especially like are these 3 beginning courses, because it lays the foundation. It helps you to become balanced. Even with the colors, when you're working with complementary colors, one of those colors, which is your primary color, that is the masculine energy. And the one that is the complementary color, that's your feminine energy. So it's like everything overlaps. And the whole thing that I'm doing is helping people find their center, find their balance, find who they are. What did they come here to offer to the world? Because everybody's so special. They have something so wonderful that they can add to this world, and they get caught up in, well, I'm not doing it right. People tell me that's not how I should be. They lose that wonder of who they are.
And that's so true. Everyone is special. Everyone has their beautiful uniqueness and their qualities. I know early, in my younger years when, dealing with being bullied in school and in this, finally said, I'm just going to be me.
Exactly.
I'll be my own weird self. I'll dance when I hear my favorite music. And that sets us free to know that we are special. We are loved. We are unique. We all have our own unique gifts, and let's have fun with that, huh?
That's right. And the other piece to that, Paula, is that the way that I present this is as a facilitator. I'm nobody's guru, okay? What I help people to find out where that is inside of them. So that the choices you're making, what you're learning, what you do with these courses can be very unique. I don't tell people you have to do a certain way. I feel you get more out of it if you do the exercises and stuff, but that's up to you. And I have people come back and take the same course 2 or 3 times because they've changed. And each time they take that course, that it's different for them. They go deeper.
Oh, isn't that awesome? Oh, you're just, I do want to say thank you, huge thank you for what you do, Arlene, because you are making a difference in so many lives. You are a gift. Thank you.
That's what I tell people is every change we make, everything we do for ourselves actually changes the collective consciousness. And that's the evolution that's going on. And the earth is evolving. We are evolving. And as we evolve personally, that affects everything.
Oh, I love it. Yes, it does. It does. Everything we do ourselves does also affect everyone around us, doesn't it? And our circumstances and what we manifest, what we connect to. It's just so fascinating, I believe.
And one of the things that we see in the world a lot is blame. I didn't do anything wrong, you did, kind of thing, And this focus, and many other people are doing this in different ways as well, but it's all about finding your center, finding who you are, operating from what is authentic for you. It's and when somebody else comes into our life and it makes glitches, or we react to it or whatever, well, they're just telling you there's something where the energy is stuck in you. So I always teach people to come back and say, okay, where do you feel that in your body? And then a lot of times we can tell what's going on because wherever you feel it in the body is connected to a color, and that color is going to tell you something about it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just so fascinating. It's just fascinating. Well, Arlene, with a few minutes left in the show, what last message do you want to give us before we say goodbye? Oh my gosh.
Well, I really hope that people will come and take a look at our transformationaltools.com. There's so many possibilities there. Plus, we're doing a lot of things on our Facebook page, which is Transformational Tools. And now I'm learning Instagram.
Oh,
we have it's Instagram.com, and then it's transformational tools _, because somebody else has transformation tools. We're doing a number of things. I'm trying to focus down because, as you know, you can go crazy trying to be out there for everything. But please come, and I would love to talk to you. I have it set up so that you can schedule a chat with me, and it's just my joy to find out what people are doing and how I can help them if I'm the right person and if I have what it is right for them. And so, come and join her up and just see what we're doing. Transformationaltools.com, and you can get our newsletter from there. And on that, we just offer you. I do a blog each month, and the one for this month is hunkering down is not the same as hiding out.
Oh, wow.
I do a theme for each month, and hunkering down is the theme for this month.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how fun and how fantastic. Gosh, gosh. Oh, this is really fascinating. And, everybody check out the website. It's a lot of fun. And Arlene, you are just adorable and just so fun to chat with.
Thank you, Paula, because this has just been a treat for me last time and this time. So
Yes,
thank you.
yes, it was amazing. And it was amazing that we were connected together years ago. And I love sharing what you do. And it really is a wonderful thing to, remind ourselves every day of how unique and wonderful we are, and so much we can do day to day and expand and grow. It's exciting, isn't it? Gosh. Well, everyone out there, thank you so much for joining us. Big hugs and blessings. If you want to get updated on everything going on with me and all that, wellnessinspired.com, and check out Arlene's website, and just have a fantastic day. And Arlene, love, hugs, and blessings. I'm just honored to have had you as a guest today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.